Hey everyone, it's Maritza of the Sybil Heart, and I'm back with another reading. I'm not sure what it is, but I have been having a lot of energy to do readings. Like, that is where my focus is right now. So here I am. This reading is for the collective, so you don't have to have whatever sign I'm going to talk about, which is Venus in Sagittarius is happening today. So what that means is I'm going to bring in the themes of openness, which is coming from Sagittarius, and warmth, which is coming from Venus. And when I think about Venus and Sagittarius, I see someone with wide open arms, and they're smiling, and they're very welcoming. So, and I think I specifically see a person because Venus has a lot of influence over relationships of all kinds. So that will be kind of the theme I'm revolving around. And the reading itself might want to go in another direction. So I'm gonna allow it to do whatever it wants to do. So here we go. Oh, before I begin, I know that I have disclaimers everywhere, but I just have to say it. Please do not use these tarot readings for replacement of any kind of professional advice, be it advice for mental health or physical health or legal advice or financial advice or whatever. Please leave that advice for the professionals. Whatever I say here is meant for entertainment purposes and also personal enlightenment purposes. So if you find something helpful or useful in any way from these readings, please take it with you. But of course, always take it with a grain of salt. Not that I say anything, or at least in my opinion, anything too out there, but yeah, just have fun and don't use this to self-diagnose. The other thing I want to say is the way that I would like for you to approach this reading, which is the way that I'm approaching it, is as though we're having a conversation. We're two good friends having some coffee or whatever, and we're just talking, right? And we're using the cards to guide our conversation. I know that it's a bit one-sided, but that is the nature of these videos. And if you have any thoughts or comments or anything you want to say, please leave it, of course, in the comment section. I would love to hear whatever you're thinking, or yeah. So that's it. Okay, that's my whole spiel. If you want a personal reading from me, I do offer those. They are for free. So if anyone approaches you that looks like me or has a similar name to me, it's not me. I will never. I used to do that. Not impersonate other readers, but like I used to have a tarot reading business in quotes. Not really, but I did used to get paid for readings. And there came a moment where it didn't feel right anymore, so now I'm offering them for free, and if you find me, you find me, and if you don't, well, you're missing out. And that's fine. Okay, that's it. Links to my offering page is in the description box below. It'll take you to a page that has a bunch of other links. You can request a reading, you can fill out a form, and the form is necessary because I'm like vetting if, for real, serious, what should I call them? Patrons, not customers, because you're not paying anything except for your time. So yeah, you can check that out. It's in the description box below. Thank you. All right. So, with Venus in Sagittarius, again, we want to think about openness and warmth. And let's see what comes up. And the reading might want to go in a different direction, so I'm not going to control it in any way. We'll see what comes up. So we have the Hermit reversed to begin with. Okay, so the Hermit reversed right away makes me think of it does make me think of openness and warmth, whereas the Hermit upright would be sort of the opposite, where the Hermit wants to distance themselves and keep it cool. Keep it, meaning keeping it on the cooler side, like they don't really want to get close to anyone in that moment. But the Hermit reversed is the opposite. They are more open to receiving and Okay, moving on. Then we have the Five of Hearts reversed. Okay, very similar energy, where the Hermit is about getting closer and being a bit more open to receiving. The Five of Cups is saying that's the point. The point is open yourself up to receive. And this is not like, I keep having this image of that exaggerated version of this in that movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey. I think that's what it was called, where he was saying yes to absolutely everything. But we want to tone that down in this case. And we want to be open to receive whatever comes our way, but we also want to be smart about it. Then the Hermit is very discerning, even when he's reversed. So, it's not like a picking and choosing. I mean, I guess it is, yes, but it's more like, do you feel like this is the right thing to come in for you right now? And if it isn't, dismiss it or whatever it is, like put it aside and maybe work on it at a better time. Okay, then we have the King of Spades and the King of Spades, let's see. Sorry, I'm saying spades. It's swords. So I feel like these three cards are like corroborating with each other. Like they are saying, so the Hermit is saying, get closer, get open to receive. And then the Five of Hearts, sorry, I keep doing that. The Five of Cups reversed is saying, be so open, like be open to receive. Like it's repeating what I'm saying in the Hermit, and then the King of Swords is sort of making it a point of saying, be open to receive, but don't receive everything. Be discerning about what feels right, what you feel ready to receive. And put aside what doesn't, at least for now. So they're like emphasizing the last points I've made of each card, which is interesting. Then we have the Two of Wands. So what I'm saying with the Two of Wands is that you're ready to, it's more like you're making a plan or getting ready to move something. It could be, actual movement in the physical realm, but it can also be movement, like energetically, like you're moving things around in your inner self, like maybe you want to get in touch with your emotions more, or something like that. But I'm seeing it as like a slow movement, something that happens slowly. And it's with the Two of Wands, it's not a movement that's happening right now. It's more of like, and why am I getting this energy? Because the suit of Wands is actually a fast moving suit. But I feel like in this case, not only are there two other cards in the reverse position right above the Two of Wands, but the Two of Wands itself is a very still card. Like I can see the figure in the Two of Wands thinking about what they're gonna do next. So they're standing still. They're making a calculated movement, or they're calculating the movement they're going to do next. So I think that's why I'm saying this movement, whether it's a physical movement or an energetic movement, it's going to happen slowly, and it's not currently happening, but it will soon happen. Oh, the other thing I'm picking up with the Hermit reversed, the Five of Cups reversed, and the King of Swords, and now with the Two of Wands, is if you don't make this movement now or soon, life is going to make the movement for you, and it's more than likely that you're not going to like where it's going to take you. So either way, whatever happens, it's going to lead you to where you need to be, but one path is going to be your choice, and so you're probably going to like it a little better. And another path is going to be, this is what life has chosen for you, and it's going to be, either way, both paths can have their obstacles, and some of them are going to be tougher than others, but you will get to where you need to be either way, regardless. But you're going to have more agency in one path and a little less agency in another path. Whoa, what happened? Does that make sense? I mean, you have agency in either path, right? But life will find a way. And either you can make choices, or you can make life make choices for you. And what comes after that, how your perspective on it that'll be up to you. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my god. It is exactly what I was talking about. It's the Wheel of Fortune reversed. And Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter. Right? I believe so. And suddenly I can't remember. Temperance is Jupiter. Sagittarius. The Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius. Or Sagittarius rules Jupiter. I can't remember. I can't remember the order of sovereignty. But anyway, the Wheel of Fortune reversed is talking about exactly what I'm talking about, which is if you don't make your choices, if you don't decide for yourself what path to take, or if you don't decide for yourself what to allow in, life, karma, spirit, whatever you want to call it, will choose for you. And for some of you, this feels like a really good idea, right? To allow life to choose things for you. I mean, and every path is going to have its problems, but I'm getting the sense from the cards that life does not want to choose for you. Life wants you to choose for yourself and have a little bit more agency over the choices you make, and to receive the lessons, the consequences from your own choices, rather than receiving lessons you did not choose to learn. You know what I'm saying? But either way, it's going to show you whether you choose these one path or you let life choose another path. Either way, you're going to learn something. You're going to see whether you have the strength to overcome the obstacles. Some people do and some people don't, right? And the people that don't remain stuck. They don't learn. They don't take in the lessons that life is giving them, and they remain where they are. They remain. The word that keeps coming up is they remain small. And it's up to them, like, the choice for them then is, it's up to them whether they are fine with that, whether they're fine with remaining kind of confined to that space that they're in energetically, or if they want to expand their mind and their heart to the lessons they choose to learn. Of course, life will always throw a curveball at us every once in a while, even when we have made every decision ourselves and have not allowed life to decide for us. But life will, in some sense, test our strength of character. Sometimes life will say, what will you do if I do this? Or if this happens to you? Or what will you do? And I'm getting that from the Two of Wands, combining it with the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Then we have Justice. The term that keeps coming up, or the saying, phrase, is that you're getting your just desserts. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use that correctly in the reading, but I guess what it's saying is you reap what you sow. So if you decide not to do anything and you decide life to make choices for you, then you're not going to, first of all, you're not going to like, more than likely, you're not going to like what life, karma, spirit, whatever, places in front of you, or the path that they put, that this entity, what have you, places, the path that they place in front of you is not going to be one that you chose. Of course it's not. You let life choose for you. And so perhaps you're going to have this feeling like everything feels like a mistake, like you're doing everything wrong, or nothing feels right. So you're going to remain stuck in that until you start making choices for yourself and you give yourself more agency. And this is what I mean, is that life, whether you choose the path or not, life is seeing how strong you are. Are you strong enough? Are you strong enough to give yourself power? And for some, this is a lifelong lesson that they need to learn. And for others, it comes in cycles. And then for others, like, they know exactly what to do. And it just depends on many things. Our circumstances, our character, our ability to discern, again with the King of Swords, and our ability to take responsibility for the consequences of our actions, great and small. And yeah, like some people can do that. Others are sort of in the middle, and others are like they get stuck somewhere. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles. Well, I feel like I haven't gotten a Pentacles in a long time. Seven of Pentacles. Actually, I feel like the Seven of Pentacles is saying what not to do is don't wait around and find out. You're in a moment right now where you need to what am I trying to say? You need to do the opposite of wait and see. It's like you have to go and see for yourself. This is not a moment where you need to wait around and, again, let life choose for you, because you may not like the decision that life makes for you, right? Like, it's better for you to make your own decisions. And it's up to you to find out whether it's the right decision or the wrong decision. The decisions that you make. So something that keeps coming up is in my head, my psyche, is it's something about trusting the process of the universe, even when you decide not to make a decision. That in itself is going to have its consequences. And you need to trust that whatever happens, it's going to teach you something important, always. But it's up to you to discern what that lesson is. And sometimes we get it wrong. We think we're listening to the message that the universe is giving us, but and we may be listening, but we're not really paying attention. And maybe when we may be listening, but when we pay attention to what the universe is saying or trying to tell us, it'll have a different message or a different lesson. And regardless of whether we take the path of our own choice or the path that life has given us, because they're both part of the same path, there will always be things that the universe has to teach us. Then we have the moon reversed. So there's something about breaking free from the illusion. And this is where discernment comes in very strongly. It's like you're free enough from the illusion, whatever that is. It could be the great illusion of your life, where like you thought things were one way, but then you find out later that it's completely different and it's not what you thought. And it's never been the way that you thought. I feel like the King of Swords and the Moon card are kind of playing this role of opposites, of like, or rather, they're complementing each other, where the King of Swords is here to pierce the illusion, your great illusion, which could be so I'm seeing like two sides of the same coin, where some are learning that they have never allowed themselves to make a choice. They've always left it up to life to make choices for them, and so their life right now feels like it's not going anywhere. And then the other side, which is the ones that have made choices rather than allowed life to choose for them. But their life also has this similar lesson that things don't always pan out the way that they want them to, and so right now I'm feeling like everyone is feeling disappointed and lied to, or they feel like they've been hoodwinked by life in one way or another. And so many of us are energetically feeling like there needs to be a change. there needs to be some movement somewhere. And that's the Two of Wands coming in. And some of us will choose to literally move, like literally move to a different place because we feel like that's going to change our lives, right? And then some others of us might decide to move / change careers or lifestyles, or try something, or try a serious interest, like something that they've always thought about trying but never really gave it a chance. So like there's movement in there. There's energetic movement. They're changing something about their life in order to change their life, or that's the hope anyway. Because they feel like there's an illusion over them that's breaking. And the illusion is, well, they're breaking through to discover that they want a different feeling for their life. They want to break free from the monotony. Then we have the King of Wands reversed. How do I say this? Okay. With the King of Swords reversed, I'm thinking it's like we might have a tendency to be, I'm not sure what the word is, but like the feeling is we have a tendency to stick to what we think is right for our own lives in a very like strict way. And so any deviation away from that makes us feel like we're getting too far away from whatever it is that we have planned for ourselves, or whatever. And I think the King of Wands is kind of pointing to that fact that we're not, even though we have given ourselves the agency to make decisions for ourselves, we are not allowing life to, we're not trusting the process enough. And so we sort of have this like control freak tendency to drive our life where we think it needs to go when life has other plans. And so there are moments when we think this isn't supposed to be happening, but it is happening. It is happening. And I think we need to be open to what the lesson is. Because that's how we grow. That's how we evolve. Energetically speaking, that's how we give ourselves the movement necessary to allow ourselves to grow and transform. Then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Wands reversed. So with the Knight of Wands reversed, I'm seeing a sudden stop. If we continue on the path we're on, we're going to find a dead end. This is not whether we have chosen our own life path or have allowed life to choose for us. Eventually, either because we are too stuck in this idea of this is exactly the path I need to take and it has to be exactly this way, or I'm not going to do anything, I'm just going to let life choose for me. Either way, we're going to find a dead end. Because in either situation, we are either not trusting the universe enough, or we're trusting the universe too much. And there's this need for balance, right? Of like, there are some decisions we need to make, and then the decisions that life makes for us, we need to build our strength of character and figure out what the lesson is and learn from it. And sometimes we get that wrong too. Yeah, so with the Knight of Wands reversed, what I'm seeing is like there's going to be a moment when we hit a dead end, and like whatever gave us energy or a spirit of life or vibrancy, it's going to suddenly stop. And that's one way that the universe says, hold on, wait a minute, let's think about this again. Let's reconsider where we want to go. And is it still, it's either a test of where your heart is, like, do you still want to continue with this, or are you just telling yourself a lie? Because this is what is expected of you now, but is it still something that you want? Excuse me. In terms of astrology, we have Virgo, the darker qualities of Virgo, which I would say And that's with the Hermit card reversed, which I feel like, well, the only darker quality quote I can think of right now is their need for control. They can become possessed by that need. Then we have air signs with the King of Swords. So that's Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. With the Wheel of Fortune, we have Jupiter. Jupiter is about expansion, but it's reversed, so it's Jupiter retrograde. So it's about kind of bringing things in instead of taking things wider, or taking things in rather than expanding. And it's more of like you're learning rather than you're learning from within rather than learning from without, if that makes sense. Then with Justice, we have Libra. Duh. Libra is ruled by Venus, and Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So we have both. We have not exactly a direct line to the energies of Venus and Sagittarius, but we have associated energies, right? So it's like an indirect line to the energies we need to get to, which I think, in the way that I'm interpreting that, is that we need movement to get through to those energies, but we may not be ready to receive those energies. So we need to be discerning. We need to be careful about getting in touch with those energies of Sagittarius and Venus, because we need to figure out first what decisions we're going to make. Then we have the Moon card reversed, and that's the waning phase. So previous waning phase or the upcoming waning phase. This could be something that has come up or will come up later. And another thing with the waning moon phase is that it's a time for introspection and rest, because in the waning phase of the moon, it becomes dimmer and dimmer, so you can see that as like a closing or a turning inward type of thing. And then we have, with the King of Wands reversed, we have fire signs, which is Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. And that could be feelings of like it's another control type thing, but it's of a different kind, where the Hermit wants control out of anxiety, whereas the King of Wands wants control out of a need for power, or to feel powerful. And that's the King of Wands reversed. Fire signs, darker side of the fire signs. Okay, well, that's it. Thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.